Volunteers make good use of modern technology to enhance the stage effects of the sutra adaptation performance. A troupe is set up to allow indigenous students to learn about their own culture and regain their confidence.
歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines， 我係 Ruby， 我哋一齊睇下今日嘅內容。To celebrate Tzu's 55th anniversary, the first Lotus Sutra adaptation performance was presented successfully on the 3rd of May. The performance has touched many audiences. This success was attributed to the behind-the-scenes team, who tried their best to integrate Buddhism into art through the use of modern technology, leading everyone to experience the beauty of Buddhism.
In a rehearsal of the Sutra adaptation performance, the technicians focus on scream and listen to the program director's instructions because every detail on the stage is closely related. The use of the LED screens, present, theme, and images makes the perfect combination of screens and stage actions. To achieve this result, the Sutra adaptation team has gone through many practices.
How to integrate the performance with the stage and an environment such as the lecture hall can satisfy all four groups of performers, and then let Tzu Chi's philosophy be expressed. This is the key point we have to overcome this time.
The lifting of the stage and the switching of the lights makes the Zhaoxian Buddhist musical full of modern elements. The Sutra adaptation team gradually enters the essence of the Dharma from rehearsal to formal performance.
At the beginning, stage volunteers would think it was a very professional performance, but after practicing for a while, they suddenly realized that the vitality is the essence of Buddhism. They felt that their performance is in high spirit, more content, and more solid than before.
Making good use of technology to integrate Buddhism and art, it is hoped that the Sutra adaptation performance can purify people's hearts.
Apart from volunteers across the country, well-known Taiwanese opera actors such as Tsuifeng and Zhaoxian, as well as Henan opera actors Wang and Jianhua, also perform in the Lotus Sutra adaptation in a way that is easy for audience to understand.
On this stage, she is a domineering and handsome soldier. From a gentle and brave character to monks from past dynasties, Taiwanese opera has been used to promote the Dharma. From the Taiwanese opera to the biography of Master Yulin, Tsuifeng has performed on many DaAi TV station productions and displayed the exquisite nature of Taiwanese opera. Set props, scripts, and actors all require perfection. And with the Huayuan theater troupe bravely innovating and offering challenging work, Tsuifeng took on the new task again. The essence of infinite meanings with the 10 merits and a burning house metaphor in the Lotus Sutra. Each verse uses a lot of symbols, metaphors, and other techniques to explain the profound principles. How can this message be performed in a way that resonates with the audience? This is a difficult task for the troupe.
Although this fate is good, the burden and responsibility are also great. In fact, I think it is more difficult than any performance done by my own art troupe.
The master has very clearly explained to us about this sutra that what we want to do is not acting, but we want to is to narrate. And then we have to use one of the biggest frameworks, which is honesty, to interpret the Buddhist scriptures.
Sun Tsuifeng's second daughter, Chen Zhaoxian, the third-generation successor of Huayuan theater troupe, took on the role of directing the stage performance. The scheduling went smoothly, which was one of the inherited traits of her mother. Although she was under great pressure, she also took the opportunity to hone her own skills.
We still feel terrified all the time. The fear is we really want to convey this scripture through our interpretation. In fact, although it is a certain chapter, we should not do it wrong. If the meaning is not correct, we should try to fix it, which gives me consistent anxiety.
It must be done well, but I don't know if it can have such a good result. It can be brought out because I have been worried that this sutra is what everyone calls the king of Buddhist sutras.
是大家所说的佛经里面的经典之王。
Even if the sutra is profound, before the interpretation, Sun Tsuifeng studied the sutra and tried her best to find important quotes for the soul.
的一句口白，
A verbal utterance awoke in me and let me find my current anxiety and worries. I found an answer and expressed it. And I felt that such a thing was not just a performance for the audience, but something that I myself had to digest first. Even I was deeply affected.
自己都必须要先消化，连我自己都要受这么大的影响。
This is a mother and daughter pair, famous Henan opera actors Wang and Jianhua. The poor son's metaphor in the Lotus Sutra was carried out by these Henan opera actors. Before the performance, Jianhua especially took her mother to visit the Jingse abode, not only to find inspiration, but also to find resonance.
我们自己是演员，
When we are actors immersed in this environment, we're able to feel that kind of state, the real thing that is on the internet or that we have heard of. We read some information and we are more able to imagine that kind of state and how difficult it is.
Not only acting, but also directing, Buddhist story and Henan opera can collide, providing different sparks. However, every scene and arrangement need to undergo countless revisions.
就是大反转。
There were some big changes. All my actors are dumbfounded. After the first rehearsal, sometimes the actors would go to the other performance, but when they come back to rehearsal, they say the whole world had changed.
整个都不一样了。
Not only the actors are confused, but Wang Hailing, who has been acting for more than 60 years, is also in a tug-of-war with the interpretation of the traditional opera and Buddhist sutras. She struggled with how to add the soul of Henan opera to the arranged and recorded sutra lyrics and music.
Looking for the same music is a prelude. I will use the original music and use my singing voice.
哦，穷子语，哎，把这个主题
and blend it to this theme.
用我的唱腔啊，我玉歌的唱腔，把它融进去。
Real gold is not afraid of fire, and it proves that 10 minutes on stage requires 10 years off-stage work, which allow different sparks to fly.
People originally wanted to have more thoughts and other elements. They should not be afraid of change. After the changes, thoughts and your elements will help you do even better performance. So I think that after the changes, none of these gaining have been removed after the change. It seems that the essence of Dharma is more powerful.
The dramatic performance interprets the stories of the Buddhist Sutra using true feelings to connect with the Buddha's heart, with chanting and images on stage to help one experience the true meaning of the Buddha.
There are many new immigrants leading a hard life in Taiwan. In Zhaoxian, 2 new immigrants women treat their in-laws as own parents, and even make ginger water for their in-laws to bathe feet, practicing filial piety to their in-laws.
刚回来哦，带婆婆去看诊，刚回来啊。刚回来。
Soon after Tzu's volunteers arrived with gifts, Lin Suhua and her mother-in-law had just returned home. Suhua usually farms and grows ginger. She said that this is the best use of old ginger.
用热水把它冲。哦，这18哎。
Suhua is soaking old ginger in warm water to help her mother-in-law bathe her feet.
给他泡着啊，我们那家。
She came from Cambodia and stayed in Taiwan for about 19 years. Her husband has passed away, leaving behind the 2 daughters and her mother-in-law for her to take care.
尽我们自己的能力。
Try my best to do it well. Don't think too much. Treat it as a challenge given by Bodhisattva and do it till your last moment.
最后就好。
Suhua has Buddhism in her heart. Not only does she have 0 complaints, but also be filial to her mother-in-law. And the hard-working new immigrant woman also includes her. A thank you from the child made Wu Sirong, a woman from the Zhuang nationality in China, very happy. But in this filial month, she even missed her father, who has just passed away in her hometown. So she seizes every moment to be filial to her father-in-law.
Thank you for taking care of me, Dad.
The family affection has been developed after 19 years of living together. Her husband passed away because of illness before, so she raised the 3 children alone.
Their resilience is really strong. They taught their children so well that the children could win scholarships every semester. Under tough circumstances, they can still take care of their families very well.
No matter how hard the challenges will be, these tough new immigrant mothers will stand up straight to face their difficulties.
Hongye Elementary School in Henan, Wang Township, just hosts 50 students. Because of lacking resources, children's ability to learn has been affected. In order to help elevate students' attitude in learning, the school has established a troupe, allowing the children to understand their own culture and regain confidence through traditional singing and dancing performance.
我这样的练习才会比较快，比较可以吗？可以。给我最棒的态度。好，再来。
到了台北之后，人家会因为我的五官太过度盛。
When I was in Taipei, people looked down on me because of my looks and that I'm indigenous. This made me lack confidence, thus I couldn't talk to people properly. After some time, I came across traditional singing and dancing. Through the process of performance, I discovered that I can actually be filled with confidence. When I was little, I thought that I couldn't sing or dance, and my grades were bad. Then I found out that these children are similar to my child self. To enhance their self-confidence, the principal came to me and wanted me to teach these children about traditional singing and dancing.
我们目前学校是有36户。
As of now, we have 36 families, 50 students in our school. More than 30 students are raised by single parents or their grandparents. There are many reasons that affect student attitude, their hobbies, and learning progress. The Trogo people have a beautiful culture, so we must allow the children themselves to love their own culture, like weaving, traditional singing, and dancing. We need to inspire them from their everyday lives.
我要你们学会唱歌，不是只有你会唱歌语，去关心你周遭的任何环境。
They don't have good movements or proper singing techniques, and it is hard for them to learn anything. They don't listen to you and lose focus easily. They also don't know their native tongue. This really is telling me that they don't want to learn. So I started from understanding their abilities and tested their focus capabilities and confidence to see if they can perform on stage.
在台上，你就是要让别人看到你在表演，可不可以？
We brought in many resources to encourage to help children. Now they have a better attitude and a stronger ability. So we took them out for performances and competitions. And through the process, they really gained their spotlight on stage.
我们从2019年年底的
At the end of 2019, we received a request from the Northern District. A volunteer told us about the HYPS troops children who love dancing and that they do not have shoes to wear. So we contacted the Northern District and brought shoes to HYPS. We also tried to understand their situation. Through communication, we wanted to inspire children to like their own culture. So we hired teachers, paying them hourly wages and their travel expenses. This is to allow children to stably grow over time.
希望可以再找其他的老师来。
I hope that other teachers may cooperate with me. From first grade to third grade, children may practice the xylophone. As for grades above, they may learn singing and choreography. Combining the two, the children will get stronger and gain confidence. At the national championship, we received first place.
赛就荣获了全县的第1名。
遇到不开心的时候，我会
When I'm unhappy, I will play the xylophone and draw. I feel happy because I can hear music.
功课都没有写完。
I didn't finish my homework and couldn't get things done, so I hate myself and ran to the mountains.
喜不喜欢唱歌？
喜欢。
I like to sing because I can properly express my emotions.
他的爸爸妈妈都会跟我说谢谢老师。
The parents will tell me, "Thank you, teacher. My children improved a lot. Now he knows how to relieve his own stress."
努力学习，然后排解自己的压力，走正确。
Study hard and relieve stress properly. On the right path, one may live a meaningful life. This is how I lived my life. I hope that the children here, under proper care, may also walk on the best and most beautiful paths of life.
黄雅萍, who is 34, was one of the training volunteers in Taoyuan district this year. When she was young, her family led a very difficult life. Tzu Chi volunteers went to care for them and provide them with living allowance. For more than 20 years, Huang Yaping has always wanted to find the Tzu Chi volunteers who cared for them before. Eventually, she met them in Henan unexpectedly and hoped to reciprocate their love by volunteering.
因为我小时候也是感恩户，然后那时候师姑跟师姐来我们家的时候，我觉得他们给我的爱很多，那我也想要把这份爱传下去，然后帮助一样都跟我一样是感恩户的人。
Wearing volunteer uniform, this lady followed 2 senior volunteers to visit care recipients. She is Huang Yaping, a training volunteer in Taoyuan this year. When she was young, she used to receive help like these 2 little girls, but now she gives back by volunteering.
In the past, my family led a very hard life. Everyone went out to make money, and my home was always empty. When Tzu Chi auntie and sisters came to visit us, they would bring me a pencil or came to care for me. My sister also received scholarships to study.
She encourages the children of care recipients to study hard with her own experience. For more than 20 years, Huang Yaping has always remembered the warmth that Tzu Chi volunteers gave her, so she wants to pass on this love.
因为我们家小时候是欠很多钱。
When I was young, my family owed a lot of money, so our relatives may not want to see us. But these Tzu Chi sisters and aunties treat us like own family. When I follow Qinghe and other volunteers to visit care recipients just now, I am more determined to do this.
And this reunion, which is after more than 20 years of separation, arose from meeting unexpectedly during the pilgrimage in Henan at the end of April.
When Sister Qingyue saw my name, she called out my mother's name in 3 seconds. Then I realized they are Tzu Chi volunteers I missed for a long time, the ones who nurture me with love.
After Huang Yaping found her saviors, the three returned to her previous rental apartment in Guishan. Apart from chatting about the past, they also hope Yaping can pass on the loving care she received continuously.
我还在学习，就是爱跟智慧的结合，才能把这份爱继续传下去。爸爸，一起爸爸。
Pingdong Tzu Chi volunteers has been going to the prison to hold a reading club and various courses for 10 years. Their gentleness has made inmate Chen Yongnan decide to go back to the right path. After he was released from the prison in 2015, volunteer Lin Si-yan and his wife not only invited him to have dinner at their home every day, but also encouraged him to join a 3-year volunteer training. Now, he has a stable job and is fully committed to Tzu Chi activities.
For every reading session and sign language practice, the inmates look forward to hearing this gentle voice most. Tzu Chi volunteers treat the inmates like mothers and sisters, bringing warmth to the Pingdong prison.
For example, when attending classes, they won't listen to us. We will tell stories and chat with them instead. In our dialogue, we will include some of our Tzu Chi spirits and Jianhua aphorism. Then, like this, they will listen.
Volunteers went to the Pingdong prison to hold a reading club for 10 years, incorporating Buddhist teachings into the interactive moments with the inmates.
Although inmates are like a cup with a missing corner, seeing them from other perspective, they are still a person without defect. We will deliberately assign some tasks to those who do not pay attention in class.
The inmates call her Mother Yun Cai. Her patients made Chen Yongnang, who was serving his sentence, respond to doing good deeds.
Donating stamps can also help people, so I gradually invite my classmates to give the stamps to Tzu Chi brothers and sisters during class.
Because of joining the reading club in prison, Yonglan has formed an affinity with Tzu Chi. Volunteer Lin Shiyan and his wife wanted to find someone to help him live a normal life after getting out of the prison, but they always encountered failure.
Later, I thought we'd better take care of this child by ourselves.
With plenty of dishes on the table, Lin Shiyan's family invited Yonglan, who has just been released from prison, to have dinner. This touched his heart, longing for family affection.
I was very touched. It was rare for me to have dinner with other families like that. Even for my own family, I've never had dinner with them together since I was young. But when I have dinner at Sister Rui Fang's home, I could feel the warmth of being a family.
His parents divorced since he was young. He can't even remember when he had a reunion dinner before. So this meal made him realize the warmth of being a family.
Because my wife has an anxious personality, whenever they have any argument, it was me to help them reconcile with each other.
I know he has the habit of smoking secretly. I would scold him loudly, but my husband would bring him near to talk to him.
It is not easy to accept former inmates. Lin Shiyan speaks softly but has a firm attitude. He insisted Yonglan to join a 3-year volunteer training.
In fact, many people have asked me why not letting him be certified. I said I still had to observe for a while. Now I keep him in the training team as a team assistant, is to let him learn our Tzu Chi humanities. One
student waits for doing good deeds and practicing filial piety. Yonglan not only learned to do Tzu Chi diligently, but also practiced filial piety with actions to accompany his mother through her last journey of life.
When his mother was in the hospital, I asked his mother if she wanted her daughter to come and see her. She shook her head. Then I asked if she wanted Yonglan to accompany her every day. She nodded instead. So he accompanied his mother for the last year and a half. I believe her mother could feel his love.
With Tzu Chi's family's companionship, Yonglan has found a new role in life, being a Tzu Chi volunteer.
My wish now is to donate 1 million NTD. I used to live without motivation. Until now, I got to know what life should be.
Let's have a look at the first Lotus Sutra adaptation performance in celebration for Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary. Having seen Tzu Chi's footprint in the past 55 years, the master expected Tzu Chi volunteers to continue to cultivate diligently on the Bodhisattva path. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.